everybody, I am Matt. This is another Feather and Inkwell, and I am reviewing the Jinhao 999 Red Body and Gold Dragons, and this is the pen. So, to start with, it does come in, like all Jinhaos, a lot of bubble wrap. It did have a plastic sleeve telling you what model you bought. The price was around $24. Pop factor for this one, I will give it a solid 10. The relief and the sculpture of the dragons down to, you probably can't see it quite in focus, but each of the dragons, both on the pen and the cap, do have red jeweled eyes that glow a little bit, and there is the jewel factors, or at least the one jewel on the cap. And every time you rescrew it, they did get the threading right, and the dragons line up pretty much no matter where you put it on. The cap does have a single gold point on the end. It starts off in a slight flare, but overall I would still put this as a very straight bodied pen, just with heavy relief on it. The end cap is a brass end cap and comes to a slight point but is relatively smooth, and like the rest of it is a gold themed. You will notice that it does have threads down here, what I will call a faux knob, because it's not a knob for anything, it's just the end of the pen, but the cap will thread back onto it if you decide to keep the weight of it. And once again, you see the dragons still line up even when you are posting it down below. Now, I will say that this is actually it is the heaviest pen that I own. So, capped, this pen weighs 102 grams, which is more than the other dragon pen that has metal relief on it. Uncapped, like this, is 62.5, which is a much more reasonable thing to hold in your hand. I recommend using it uncapped. It is 5 inches uncapped. It is comfortable to hold, and for the most part, the end of the pen rests nicely on your palm. If you have a smaller hand, you may be resting your hand on the back part of the relief, but it is relatively smooth and not sharp. The body, the relief area, the metal it looks like to be a yellow, very highly polished brass. The body, the pen body, is possibly a brass tube with a red lacquer coating on it, as this also feels to be metal with some kind of black lacquer coating on it. You do on the cap have some Chinese lettering, which I'm not sure about, but it gives it that overall Chinese flair. It goes very well with a dragon. I'm sure it mentions something about a dragon in that text. The nib options for this pen, it does come in extra fine, fine, and medium as far as I know. Now, this particular nib, while it is a medium, is gold plated as well, and it does write extra smooth. I'm not making any claims that it is in fact a 18 karat gold plated or a 14 karat or anything like that. It is a gold plated nib, and it does write extra smooth. It's not all gold. Just noting that. Like I said, super smooth. I'll go over just how smooth I feel it is when I flip around my paper here for you. I'll go ahead and throw this up for you. So down here you could see it is a sufficiently wet plastic nib that comes with it. For a medium, that is a good smudge. The lines are even, and there really isn't any extra bounce or line variation. The feed keeps up well at all speeds and performs exceedingly well. I accustom this to two things. I love mediums. I write very well with them. But two, I feel like the gold plating definitely made it smoother than the average medium would be. I am using the Diamine Red Dragon ink, which is my favorite one to use with all of my dragon pens. Let's see. Yep. Once again, smoothest writing pen. It is super heavy. Overall, it is the heaviest pen I have. If you really want to impress either people you work with, you want something to throw on your desk at the office to, really highlight Year of the Dragon, this will catch people's attention as soon as they walk in and look at it. Like I said, I feel like this is a pop factor level 10. Again, look how bright this brass is polished up. Super bright. It is heavy, but it is functional. And it does come with a cartridge converter. I'm kind of running out of ink at the moment. It has been used quite a bit, and that tells you that it works very well. We've been able to use it this much. This does look to be like one that you can take apart, so that's a plus side, so you can maintain the converter. Like I said, the nib itself is gold plated, so it does write extra smooth. I wouldn't count on that lasting forever, but it's there. The feed keeps up very well, and this is a medium nib, so it is my favorite. I enjoy that it actually comes with a medium nib and not just a fine or extra fine. And that is it, folks. This is probably, despite being the heaviest pen I have, so far, one of my favorite dragon pens. Just as a side note real quick before we end this video, I mentioned earlier the Jinhao 5000, which currently has a bent nib and has the eKindle ink in it by Diamine, a much lighter weight pen. Writes like a paintbrush right now. I did mention I would try to put in a different nib, and the Kai-Glue long blades that I bought did not fit in it. So just a side note, I will not be doing an extra video. I'll be using this just to, throw out that it didn't work. So I'll have to wait for another pen to put those nibs in, because I bought both the fire theme, so hopefully there is a dragon themed pen that it can go in, and I also bought the scale one, which I put on the 699 Wingsung. I will do a video separately on that. It's a little bit of a disappointing pen, so don't expect the best review there. Folks, have a wonderful day.